Okay, started. So good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to start with the third chapter, Plant Kingdom. Okay. So my name is Deepeshwar. So I'll be dealing with biology first year. Okay. So so let's start with the new topic today. So it's chapter 3. Okay. So if it's see in your NCRT book, okay. So chapter 3, Plant Kingdom. Okay. Yeah. So Plant Kingdom. Okay. So Plant Kingdom is nothing but so all the different kind of plants. Okay, according to the evolution. So first on Earth. So you have a division here. So according to the organism which came on this planet Earth, okay? So different kind of organisms. So which took birth during the evolution. Evolution means since the birth of this Earth, okay? So during that time, so first organism under plant kingdom, okay? So plant means which have chlorophyll and which synthesize their own food. Okay, so plant kingdom. So mostly the peculiar character of plant is they have chlorophyll. Okay, and they can synthesize their own food. Okay, so plant kingdom. So first one is algae. Okay, so algae are green in color. Yeah, so they are green in color and they can undergo photosynthesis. Yeah, and they can prepare their own food. Okay, so algae. Then second one is bryophytes. Yeah, now these are the new terms. Algae. Okay, algae already you know. Then bryophyte. Second, this also come under plant because they have leaf and they have chlorophyll. Yeah, so what about chapter 2? Yeah, chapter 2 deals with classification. Yeah, so there is lot of classification. So first I will finish with plant kingdom, so then we will go with that chapter 2. Okay, so first we'll finish with chapter 3. Yeah, so then I will go into the next chapter 2. Okay, so this is little bit easy, so related to whatever studied in 8th, 9th, 10th. So we'll finish up this first and then we'll go to that classification. Okay, so classification is the second chapter. So in second chapter there are a lot of new terms which will come and different organisms are there, so you will be a little bit confused. So better than that, this is better. Okay, yeah, so you have algae, bryophytes, then third one is pteridophytes. Okay, so pteridophytes. Then fourth one is gymnosperms. Okay, so you have to study the characters of all this. Okay, so under plant kingdom there are various classifications. So first one is algae, bryophytes, then pteridophytes, then gymnosperms. Then next is angiosperm. Okay, so these are the 5 classification that comes under plant kingdom. So first is algae, second one is bryophytes, third one is pteridophytes, fourth one is gymnosperm, and last fifth one is angiosperm. Okay, so all this they come under plant kingdom. Okay, yeah, producers, angiosperm. Then good morning. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so fine. Good morning to everyone. Angiosperms. What is angiosperms? Okay. Yeah. So there are 5 classification which comes under plant kingdom. Okay. So before this, okay, before this plant kingdom. Okay. So there are some other classification. Okay. So before this, so before plant kingdom, there comes based on organisms. So organisms are, they may be bacteria, they may be fungi. Okay, so these are minute organisms which are present on this earth. Okay, so there are even large organisms. Okay, so there are minute organisms like bacteria, and there are also larger organisms. So based on the character of organism, so there are different classification. Okay, so organisms, just I will finish up with different kind of classification. So organisms are classified. Okay, so based on their size, based on their shape. Okay, so organisms are classified into different categories. Okay, so organisms are classified into different categories based on the shape and size. Okay, so first thing what we come across is first classification, Monera. Okay, yeah. Okay, so first classification is Monera, Monera. Okay, so this includes, Monera includes Monera bacteria. Okay, yeah. So here comes organism like bacteria. Okay, so for now I'll give only one example. So more than one example will lead to confusion. So under Monera there is bacteria, then also there is cyanobacteria. Okay, so all these they come under Monera. Okay, so we can even say that all prokaryotic organism. Okay, prokaryotic organism. Okay, all prokaryotic organism. Oh, yeah. Okay, so all prokaryotic organism, they come under kingdom Monera. Okay, so kingdom Monera, all prokaryotic. So what is prokaryotic organism? Okay, so that we have to know. So first kingdom is kingdom Monera. Okay, so organism are classified into 5 different types. So under that 5 different type, first one is Monera. Okay, so under Monera we have example bacteria. Okay, so also you can say that all prokaryotic organism. So all prokaryotic organism, they come under Monera. Okay, so now what is prokaryotic organism? So here example is bacteria. So in bacteria, okay, so whenever we draw bacteria, we draw it like this. So in bacteria, okay, so there is outer cell wall. Okay, so outer layer is made up of cell wall. Then next there is cytoplasm. Okay, so cytoplasm is nothing but, so already you might have studied in your school structure of the cell. Okay, so same thing even in bacteria. So bacteria is a single cell, so only one single cell. So outer is called as, yeah, there is no true nucleus. So outer cell wall, then inside the cell wall there is a plasma membrane, and then inside to plasma membrane there is cytoplasm. Okay, so everything is there, just I am telling you what is the difference between prokaryotic organism and eukaryotic organism. Okay, so next is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is nothing but it contains 90% of water. Okay, so 90% of water, cytoplasm. So you take any cytoplasm, either cytoplasm of bacteria or cytoplasm of animal cell. Okay, so in cytoplasm 90% of water plus 10% of ions. Okay, so different kind of ions, Ca2 plus Na, sodium, so all those ions will be present. So but most is 90% of water. Yeah, peptidoglycan, cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Okay, so we are studying what is prokaryotic, not the structure of bacteria. Okay, so under Monera there is example called as bacteria, so they come under prokaryotic organism. Okay, they have cell wall, then plasma membrane, cytoplasm, then inside they have a genetic material. So all organisms have a genetic material which is called as DNA. Okay, yeah, so DNA is present inside. Okay, but here nuclear membrane is absent. So when we draw a plant cell or animal cell, okay, so we draw it like this, then next is cytoplasm, then next inside to it is nuclear membrane. Okay, so what is the difference between this diagram and this diagram? So here there is presence of membrane, and that membrane is called as nuclear membrane. Okay, yeah, so this is a animal cell. Okay, so animal cell means animals are higher organism. Okay, so they are pretty large in size. So this is animal cell and this is bacterial cell. Okay, so bacterial cell and animal cell. So one difference what we find is here nuclear membrane is absent. Okay, and the DNA, okay, every organism has DNA. Okay, so DNA is freely floating inside the nucleus, so there is no boundary here. So boundary is not present. Okay, only the DNA is present inside. Okay, and that is called as nucleoid. Okay, nucleoid. Yeah, so such organism wherein, yeah, wherein nuclear membrane is absent. So in animal cell and plant cell nuclear membrane is present, here membrane is absent. Okay, so such organism are called as prokaryotic organism. So if you find any organism without nuclear membrane, so they will be classified as prokaryotic organism. Okay, so they will be classified as prokaryotic. So without nuclear membrane, prokaryotic. So with nuclear membrane, it is known as eukaryotes. eukaryotic, eukaryotic organism. Okay, so this is the difference between eukaryotic organism and prokaryotic organism. Okay, yes. Okay, so prokaryotic and eukaryotic organism. So if nuclear membrane is not present, then it is called as prokaryotic organism. If nuclear membrane is present, then it is called as eukaryotic organism. So based on the presence and absence of nuclear membrane, they are classified as eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Okay, so all the higher animals. Okay, so we have different kind of animals, different kind of insects, then we have plants. Okay, so all they have nuclear membrane. So in them cell nuclear membrane is present. Okay, so they are called as eukaryotic organism. And prokaryotic organism, so one example, live example is bacteria. Okay, there are few organisms which comes under prokaryotic. And what is prokaryotic? If there is no nuclear membrane, it is called as prokaryotic organism. Okay, so if there is no nuclear membrane, and there is only few organisms, so you don't find many organisms. Okay, so this is single cell prokaryotic organism. So we can say like that, single cell. Okay, only one cell is there in bacteria. So we can say single cell prokaryotic organism for bacteria. Okay, so Monera includes single cell prokaryotic organism. Okay, so single cell prokaryotic organism, so they come under Monera. So example is bacteria. Okay, so single cell prokaryotic organism, they come under Monera. Okay, so next eukaryotic, if nuclear membrane is present, then it is called as eukaryote. So inside this nuclear membrane you have double stranded DNA. Okay, so there are two strands inside the DNA. Okay, so one strand and another strand, and in between there is hydrogen bonds. Okay, yeah, two strands. So that is your prokaryotic, and this is your eukaryotic cell. Okay, so animal cell animals and even human beings, they belong to eukaryotes. Okay, so they are eukaryotic, human beings and animals. Okay, so you remember that. And prokaryotic, bacteria. Okay, so there are a few examples are there in bacteria that we will see in second chapter. Okay, so bacteria belongs to Monera. Okay, so they classified this bacteria, this organism, they put into a kingdom which is known as Monera. Okay, and they are called as, you can write in bracket, single celled prokaryotic organism. Okay, so prokaryotic means nuclear membrane is absent. Okay, so single cell prokaryotic organism. Okay, so first one is Monera, which is known as single cell prokaryotic organism. Okay, so second thing is Protista. Okay, so we'll go fast. Okay, so already you know what is difference between prokaryote and eukaryote. So prokaryotic is nothing but if nuclear membrane is absent. Now second is kingdom Protista. So in this kingdom, so organism like amoeba. Okay, yeah, so amoeba, you know, in previous year in school days you might have drawn like this. They have pseudopodia which will help in movement. Okay, pseudopodia. So these are the structure which help in the movement of this amoeba. Okay, so amoeba is nothing but they have well defined nuclear membrane. Okay, so well defined nuclear membrane. So if well defined nuclear membrane is present, then it belongs to eukaryote. Okay, so amoeba belongs to eukaryote. Okay, Protista belongs to eukaryote. So you can write here single cell eukaryotic organism. Okay, single cell eukaryotic. So eukaryote means which has nuclear membrane. Now single cell, okay, single cell prokaryotic organism, they are known as, they will be classified under Monera. Okay, so if you find single celled organism and if it doesn't have nuclear membrane, then it will belong to Monera. Okay, and if you find some organism which is single celled and if it is a eukaryotic, eukaryotic means nuclear membrane is present, then it will belong to Protista. Okay, so Protistan, single cell eukaryotic organism. So if nuclear membrane is present, then it is called as eukaryotic organism. So single cell eukaryotic organism come under Protista. Okay, so next one is Mycota. Okay, so fungi belongs to Mycota. So based on the character, these organisms are placed in different kingdom. Okay, so kingdom, so this side you can write kingdom. So kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Mycota. Okay, so this fungi, they are plant-like structure. Okay, so you might have seen mushrooms growing during rainy season. Okay, so they have rhizoids. Okay, but there was a confusion here. This fungi, which is known as mushroom, yeah, they are multicellular eukaryotic organism and they lack chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is absent. So here chlorophyll is absent. Okay, so when chlorophyll is absent, what it has to do? It can't synthesize its own food. Only if chlorophyll is present, a plant can synthesize its own food. Okay, so if chlorophyll is absent, then fungi, this belongs to fungi, so it cannot synthesize its own food. So they are known as heterotrophs. So even we human beings are heterotroph. So we obtain our nutrition from plants, or if you are a non-veg, then you obtain your nutrition from animal. Okay, so they are heterotroph. So if chlorophyll is absent, Yeah, they are known as heterotroph. So here, actually, yeah, actually what happened was, so earlier scientists, what they did, they classified this fungi into plant kingdom, okay? Then they thought that chlorophyll is absent. So when they cannot synthesize their own food, they removed it from plant kingdom and they put into a separate kingdom which is called as mycota, okay? So fungi, all the fungi, they lack chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is absent in them. So because of absence of chlorophyll, yeah, and it also has a plant-like body. So it's, if you see at its structure of the body, so it is a plant type, okay, a type of plant, but without chlorophyll, okay. So it doesn't have chlorophyll and it cannot synthesize its own food, okay. So that's why it is classified as under mycota, okay. So fungi are classified under mycota, okay. So next classification is, so based on the character of organism, so next is plantae, okay. So plantae, just now I said, so this plant kingdom chapter, so we will be studying about this kingdom plantae in detail, okay. Kingdom plantae in detail. So plantae, so first one is algae, okay. Just now I wrote before half an hour. So algae, then there are some kind of plants which are called as bryophytes, okay. Some kind of plants which are called as bryophytes, and then pteridophytes, okay. Then algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperm, and last one is angiosperm, okay. Okay. So during evolution, first one, let us take algae, okay. So there were no bryophytes, no pteridophytes, no gymnosperm, no angiosperm. So large plants were absent on this earth, okay, millions of years ago, okay. So there were only one kind of organism, and that is known as algae, okay. So what this algae character was, so it had chlorophyll, yeah. So whichever organism or plant has chlorophyll, so that will be classified under kingdom plantae, yeah, because it can synthesize its own food, yeah. So if it can synthesize its own food, it comes under kingdom plantae, okay. So kingdom plantae, first one is algae. So their peculiar character is they have chlorophyll, okay, and they always stay in water, okay. So they grow in water, okay, in the lakes and ponds, okay. So they are green in color, so they have chlorophyll, they stay in water. Then their body is thallus, okay. So their body is thallus, okay. So main plant body is thallus, okay. Main plant body is thallus, okay. Okay, so plant body is called as thallus. Okay, so chlorophyllus, they stay in water, and plant body is called as thallus. Okay, then next one is bryophytes. Yeah, so algae is over. Next one is bryophytes. Okay, so bryophytes are small plants. Okay, so they range from 1 to 3 centimeter. Okay, so they range from 1 to 3 centimeter. Okay, so small plant, so 3 centimeter means it's pretty small plants. Okay, so sometimes they form mat like structure, mat like structure on lands. Okay, so during rainy season, so usually they form a mat like structure, and these plants are very small. They range from 1 to 3 centimeter. Okay, then another character of bryophyte is issue there. Yeah. So they form a mat-like structure on land, and they don't have xylem and phloem. Okay. So okay. So they don't have xylem and phloem. So xylem and phloem is absent. Okay. So xylem and phloem is absent. The second one, bryophyte. So first one was algae. So algae is thallus. So bryophytes, they form mat-like structure, and they are 1 to 3 centimeter. And xylem and phloem is absent. Now what is xylem? So xylem will help in transport of water. Okay. So transport of water will take place through xylem. Okay. Okay, can't see that. So xylem and phloem is present, is absent. Then xylem is nothing but, so it will help in transport of water, and phloem is nothing but it will help in transport of food, usually in plants, in all kind of plants. Either it may be, yeah, either it may be bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, or angiosperms. So this xylem and phloem is completely absent. Okay, in bryophytes. So first one is algae. So here also xylem and phloem is absent. In bryophytes, here also xylem and phloem is absent. So xylem is will help in transportation of water, and phloem will help in transportation of food. Okay. So phloem will help in transportation of food, and xylem will help in transportation of water. So both these tissues, xylem and phloem, is absent in bryophytes. Okay. So, and this plant, bryophyte, so they range from 1 to 3 centimeter. So they need trans, okay, constant supply of water. So wherever they grow, they need constant supply of water. So if there is no water, then they will die. Okay, because xylem and phloem is absent. So without xylem and phloem, so they can't absorb the water and nutrients from the land. Okay, so always they need constant supply of water, and supply of food takes place by diffusion. So diffusion is a method by which supply of food will take place. Okay, so food supply is taken by diffusion, and water will be directly absorbed by the plant. Okay, so they lack both xylem and phloem. Both are absent in bryophytes. Okay, so they need constant supply of water for survival. Okay, so next is pteridophytes. So pteridophytes, they are little bit larger plants. Okay, so they range from 1 meter to 2 meters. Okay, so their size is 1 meter to 2 meter in length. Okay, next one, that is pteridophytes. Okay, the size of the pteridophyte. So this is one more category of plants wherein their size is 1 to 2 meters, okay, not in centimeter, 2 meters in length. Okay, and there is presence of xylem and phloem. So both xylem and phloem are present. Okay, so both xylem and phloem are present. Okay, yeah, example of bryophytes. So example I will tell you while dealing with it. So bryophyte example is Markensia. Markensia is example for bryophytes, and pteridophytes example is ferns. Okay, so example you can take as ferns. Ferns are the example for pteridophytes. So usually in any function they will give bouquet. Okay, so in that some leaf-like structure will be present. So like this one stem axis, and so small leaflets will be present. So during function, so this inside the bouquet, so such kind of structure or some axis, small axis of a plant, they will put it, and that is known as ferns. Okay, so those are nothing but pteridophytes. Okay, so mosses is example for bryophytes. So pteridophytes example are ferns. Okay, so they are 1 to 2 meters in length. Xylem and phloem are present. So in pteridophytes, xylem and phloem are present. Okay, yeah, understood? So xylem and phloem are present in pteridophytes. So first one, algae. So plant is thallus. Then bryophytes. So plant is 1 to 3 centimeter. Okay, and xylem and phloem is absent in bryophytes. So they need constant supply of water. So next is pteridophytes. They are 1 to 2 meters in length. Xylem and phloem are present. Okay, so here it is present. So first two, xylem and phloem is absent. In algae also xylem and phloem is absent. Bryophytes also xylem and phloem is absent. Okay, so third one, pteridophytes. So these are little long plants. Okay, range to 1 to 2 centimeter in length, and here xylem and phloem is present. Okay, so there is presence of xylem and phloem. Okay, so example is fern. Okay, so during the evolution, so slowly the plants, so when they came from algae to bryophytes, from bryophytes to pteridophytes, so when they came till here, till pteridophytes, so they developed a different organs like xylem and phloem for transportation of water and food. Okay, so next is gymnosperm, characters of gymnosperms. Okay, so again we will deal in detail from next class. So gymnosperms, so these are, as you know, these are large plants. Okay, so there is xylem and phloem present in gymnosperm. So both xylem and phloem will be present in gymnosperms. Then they are seed producing plants. So only seed will be produced, seed producing plant. Okay, so only seeds will be produced, there is no flowering. Okay, so that is the peculiar character of gymnosperms. Okay, so examples and all the characters I'll explain you one by one in the next class. Okay, so bare naked seeds. Yeah, so seed producing plant or seed bearing plants. Okay, so there is no flower. Okay, so there is no production of